Recording. There we go. So everyone, this is one of our amazing students, Camellia. She had some amazing results with one of her ads that she ended up telling us about, and I'm super excited to pick her brain on this call. But first things first, as always, I always like to ask people how they even got started in the industry. So tell us, who you are, where you're from, and tell us about what you do.
All right. Well, I am Camellia Morris Barclay. On Instagram, I'm Cam the hairstylist. I have been licensed since 2010. So I guess that's 11 years now. I used to just always do my hair like in a bunch of different crazy styles in high school. And then, like, my best friends and stuff, we'd always just kind of play around with hair. I went to regular community college for a year and kind of flunked out because I was bored. I said, let me try and go to cosmetology school. And since I love doing it, and maybe I could make some money doing that. So I went and I actually finished. So I was like, okay, great. Like there's something to this.
Yeah.
So while I was in cosmetology school, I had the opportunity to assist a hairstylist that was in my local town. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, originally, but so I got the opportunity to assist him, and his specialization was relaxed hair care and short haircuts. And just being in the salon, and I had never worked in a salon before, it opened my eyes to something completely different, other than whatever I was learning in school as well. So he did a lot of creative color and things like that. So it really got me into all of that. Um,
Gotcha.
yes. So that is currently my specialization as well, just because that's where my experience was, and it just stuck with me all this time. So I specialize in relaxed hair care and cuts, shortcuts, like little pixies. I love them.
Awesome. Awesome. We need you out. We need the short hair specialists out there because I'm not it. I'll tell you that
So
much.
many people say the same thing. They're like, I'm terrified to chop people's hair off, like all the way. I'm like, I love it. Like, it's
Yeah. Definitely. I'm sure your day is always exciting getting to see the big transformation. So that's awesome.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about kind of what salon life and personal life, I guess, looked like for you before you kind of found Fill Your Books.
Okay, so before I fill your books, it was pretty slow. Really having to go out, and everyone says give out cards, but that doesn't really work in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can't pay your bills on just handing out cards. Um, I while I went on my own, I was serving tables. I was a waitress for a couple of years, really, while I was still trying to build a clientele. Um, Word of mouth was really what kind of helped everything pick up once, because I was working in a salon with other stylists. But once I kind of moved from that, it was kind of like, how do I let people know that I'm out here, instead of without like getting my face on a bus or a billboard. What I mean?
Yeah.
So that was just wasn't an option. The cost of that is crazy. So um, yeah, I mean, before Fill Your Books, I was just kind of just meeting people and trying to fill my schedule, and it was a struggle. It really was. I actually purchased your program in July of 2019.
Really?
Yes, I purchased
Holy
it.
crow. I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
I did. Yeah, but the issue was I was at a commission salon. I had moved to Atlanta. I've been moving a lot the past 10 years. I moved to Atlanta because I have an 8-year-old son and a 7-month old now. But at the time, I just had my 8-year-old son, and my sister lived in Atlanta, and I wanted my son to know my sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For us all to be close together. So I had to start over in Atlanta in 2018, and but I was in a commission salon, and I didn't have a lot of freedom as far as advertising was concerned, or if I want to do promo or do some free work. And you know what I mean, I had to check with the owner, and they weren't really about that. So um, I found when I started using Fill Your Books, I kind of just went through the program probably in 3 days. I just was like, sat down and was like, let me go, do as much as I can to get through it. um, I started DMing people. I started implementing some of the
More
things
than
that,
like the organic stuff.
Mhm, at first, and I didn't really run my first ad until maybe 6 months later, to be honest, because the DMing was kind of working better than whatever else I had been doing. But then pandemic started last year. So in March, I had to stop working. And was it March? Yeah, the very beginning of
Yeah,
March, I had to
it's
stop
like
working.
mid-March.
Yeah, so it kind of like halted everything that I was doing. And of course, people were still calling me like, "Hey, can you come to my house and do all this stuff?" And I just didn't feel comfortable, so I didn't.
Mhm.
Fast forward to now, my
Which it is
it,
September of 2021.
yes, which I can't even believe because this past like it's almost 2 years. Like
So
what
crazy,
it's
so
flown
wild.
by, like really. Um, I ended up having a baby in February of this year, so I got pregnant last year, and so I wasn't working at all. But I always had fill your books here, you know. So I kind of just went back to it and just looked through everything and trying to get myself ready for going back to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my fiance ended up getting a job in Phoenix, where his brother lives. So we relocated after I had the baby, and we moved here in May of this year. So I opened my suite. I don't know if you want me to go into that now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I opened my suite actually June 7th of this year. So 1 month after I came to Phoenix because I'd been home for a year, over a year, and I'm just like, I got to get back to, I love doing hair. So I have to get
Yeah,
back.
you get stir crazy.
So I had some money saved, and I went ahead and opened a suite, and I started running my this ad that I had a good, good amount of response to on June 25th. And let me
The
see.
25th was when you started it.
That's when I started the ad. I got the keys to the suite on the 7th, but I didn't start taking clients until July 8th because I just got
Gotcha.
everything together and was working everything out. But yeah, June 25th is when I started the ad. So far, I've gotten 19 new clients through that one ad, and I was
Uh-huh.
running it for $5 a day. Um, I've made $3,010 without tips, like not including my tips. Yeah, in
That's amazing.
yeah, and I've made and I spent $425.58 on this one single ad. I had actually created a couple more, like two other ads, but
Uh-huh.
the response wasn't as I wasn't getting as many messages as I would like, so I
Sure,
stopped.
as the one.
Right, so I said, okay, let's cut that out and focus on the one that was getting the most response.
And I think that what's awesome is to highlight is that you're in a completely new spot, right? In a studio, which is something you've never done before.
Mhm. No one
That's
knows
so
me.
exciting.
No one knows me. I have no friends here. Like literally, I have my brother-in-law, but like that they're not my folk. They're not my
Yeah.
target market. So you know what I mean. They're not really my clients. So it's just been really. I've had a 50% retention so far, and the feedback with that has been that I'm far away. So remember, I don't know exactly where I was. As far as where my target would be in a new.
Sure. Sure.
So what I have done is I'm actually going to be moving suites into downtown Phoenix so that I can be more centrally located. So it'll be kind of be 30 minutes away from my house and 30 minutes from the other side of the city where people are really coming from to get my services.
Right. Right.
So that's going to be starting in November though. But right now,
That's
so
super exciting.
yeah, and so far the feedback when I sent out an email telling everybody that I'm going to be moving to a more central location, they're like, great, great, because they can book more frequently as opposed to once a month or you know what I mean, whatever they were booking before.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Tell me a little bit what it felt like when you booked your first like client or two that you were like, holy shit, is this working?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, tell me about how that went.
so when I saw my online booking pop up on my phone and I'm like, you have a new online booking. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even talk. The first person, I didn't even have any conversation with them. They just booked, and I
Yeah.
was just this is fantastic. You know what I mean? Because I know
Yeah.
people don't know you're here unless you let them know they're here. So,
Hmm.
but I was like, the system, like it worked. You know what I mean? The ad that I put, the ad copy is phenomenal. Like you know what I mean? Of course, it needs to be sometimes be tweaked. And
Sure.
being in the group, in the Facebook group, of course, I've been basically just feeding off of other people's ads that have actually worked. So I switched my wording a little bit from the script but
Right.
just in the slightest way, and that literally has been working all this time. So I'm just really excited. I was running an ad for a larger ticket service,
Hmm.
but I don't know. It was called a transformation package, so I'm not sure if people didn't understand what exactly that meant, or they didn't message me to say, hey, what does that include? So I
Sure.
started getting that specific and kind of made it more general. Hey, I'm here. I'm your new short hair style, short hair stylist.
Hmm.
Message me. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it said something else, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that has been engaged, gotten so much more engagement. I think I have 170 messages on the ad, which is
That's awesome.
yeah.
And simply just getting your face in front of all the new people, right? It's like planting those seeds that will eventually nurture into, just the more people know your name, the more popular you'll be just simply by nature. So I think that that's amazing that you're even getting yourself out there. And I know you mentioned like some of the scripts and everything. So would you say someone who's thinking about joining Fill Your Books, or like, would you say it's kind of like easy to understand? Do you need to be like a tech genius to figure it out? Like, how did you feel kind of going through everything?
I thought it was super easy. I thought just because personally as a hairstylist, I am not the best student if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah,
I'm
a
really bad.
creative mind, let's call it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm definitely hands on, not so much techie, but if you don't know how to use the computer, literally you just need to follow directions. Like listen and follow directions. That's it. I know that's not as easy for other people as I guess as it seems it should be, but listening, follow directions. Fill Your Books is super easy. It's really nice to be able to go back and just re-listen to any of the trainings,
Hmm.
the updates, all of that. I mean, I was really happy to be able to just re-log in since from 2019 till now, and jump back in and start right where I start left off.
Yeah. Which, speaking of which, I think it's something important to kind of touch on too, is that it worked for you commission. It's working for you, booth rent now in a completely new city. So I think that that's really cool. Is it's not meant for just one type of beauty professional. It's really meant for whatever situation you're in, employee, independent,
Absolutely.
salon owner, even, it'll work for you.
Yeah, it can work for anybody. I do believe that it can work for everybody, just because, I mean, it's talking to people. I was on one of you guys live, and you were like,
Yep.
yeah, all you got to do is talk to people. It's really true. And it's not just about, hey, telling them how great you are, but literally just natural conversation. It comes up, you know what I mean? In America, we always kind of focus on what do you do for a living? That's what
Yep.
you comes up. So, but it's easy, and you just have to be willing to put yourself out there. I can remember feeling like my work was like, I'm afraid to post these pictures because what if it sucks? You know what I mean? But everyone is not for everybody. You know what I mean? Every stylist is not for
Yep.
everybody. Every lash tech is not for everybody. Someone's gonna like your style, so you just got to keep being you. You know?
Exactly. I always say the more authentic you are, the more those dream clients and that dream clientele and the people you love working with are going to start to come through, because when you're genuine to yourself, people are attracted to that, just like you said. So that's amazing. Would you recommend Fill Your Books to a friend? Any last parting words for anyone who's kind of on the fence of making the jump?
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend Fill Your Books. Absolutely. And I know this is the first time you and I are speaking,
Mm-hmm.
Has really changed the way that I see marketing, and just the way that I work my business. I'm super busy because I have a newborn and another kid, so I can't get in on DMing as many as I want to, you know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
I try to get as much as I can, but I really do appreciate the work that you've put into creating this program, because it's working.
Well, thank you, because that's why I do what I do. That's what I did. And over at Fill Your Books, that's all Corey and I ever wanted. We were like, it started with me. It was, we just wanted to build my books, and now we have the opportunity to help so many people who are in the same situation as me. It's
Yeah.
funny because you're kind of like the exemplary from commission to moving to a new state to being independent. Like you've done the whole journey just like I have. So it's
Yeah.
really, I mean, this camera angle really gets the glisten in my eyes. You can see how, happy that makes me. So I appreciate that so much, and we appreciate you. And if you're watching this, we would love to chat with you. Feel free to head on over to fillyourbooks.com, fill out our application, and you can hop on a call with one of our amazing coaches and see if you'd be a right fit for Fill Your Books. Thank you so much, Camellia, for hopping on, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.